Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to stick around because today's topic is a vital one in the understanding of female psychology. Let's get right to it. Of all the realities that men often ignore, here's one that could completely shift your approach. When you step back and go silent, something profound stirs within her. It's not a subtle reaction. It's a significant emotional shift that you might not anticipate. It's time to let go of the illusion that constant conversation and endless communication build connection. In truth, silence carries a potency that words rarely match. Before rushing to conclusions, let this sink in. The moment you stop calling, texting, or pursuing her, you awaken a primal response within her psyche. Most men fall into the trap of thinking that relentless attention is the key to capturing a woman's interest. They believe that being ever present, responding to every message, meeting every need, will draw her closer. But paradoxically, this unrelenting availability breeds disinterest. Women are drawn to intrigue, space, and most critically, the thrill of pursuit. Stepping back isn't about being dismissive or harsh. It's about granting her the mental room to experience desire, to feel what it's like to miss your presence. This powerful shift transforms the entire dynamic between you. In this discussion, you'll learn the profound effect of withdrawing your attention and how silence can recalibrate her emotions. You'll uncover the psychological mechanics behind why creating distance can intensify her interest, making her chase you instead of the other way around. This approach isn't about mind games. It's about understanding human nature and the foundations of attraction. If you're weary of being the one who always initiates, who constantly invests more energy into a connection than you receive, it's time to reframe your mindset. The insights you're about to discover will reshape your understanding of power, desire, and relational dynamics. Now is the moment to pull back. Embrace quiet confidence and let her rediscover her need for you. Number 1. She will start chasing you. When you step away from a woman, an undeniable shift takes place in the dynamic between you. Suddenly, your constant availability vanishes. You're no longer the one pursuing, and this disruption can ripple through her mind, challenging the familiar rhythm she's come to expect. The power dynamic tilts, and with it comes an irresistible tension, a psychological pull that compels her to notice your absence. Human nature craves what feels out of reach, and women are no different. The truth is, being ever present and always responsive can create a perception that you're easily obtainable. When you're just a text away, predictably fulfilling her needs, the sense of intrigue fades. But when you withdraw your attention and stop feeding into her expectations, the entire script flips. Now, you become the man who isn't so easy to grasp, the one whose time and energy aren't guaranteed. Without even realizing it, she'll feel the pull of curiosity. She'll start texting first, reaching out more frequently, and even initiating plans to spend time with you. What makes this so effective is the underestimated power of absence. Too much attention breeds comfort, and even complacency, while a sudden retreat ignites reflection. In that quiet space, she's left to wonder where you've gone, and why. Picture this scenario. You've been regularly texting and engaging with her, everything feels consistent, and then you decide to dial it back. No more initiating conversations or making yourself readily available for a few days. At first, confusion may set in, but soon enough, the intrigue takes hold. She begins to question the change, and that uncertainty drives her to bridge the gap. She sends the first message, follows up when you don't reply right away, or even interacts with you on social media to reclaim your attention. By stepping away, you're not playing games. You're simply shifting the dynamic to let her feel the weight of your absence. It's a natural response to fill an emotional void, and she'll instinctively move into pursuit mode. The truth is, when you master this balance, you'll never have to chase again. Let her feel the pull of silence, and watch how she responds. The absence of your attention is often the strongest allure. Number 2. She will begin to miss you. When you withdraw your attention and stop communicating with her, something powerful happens. She starts to feel your absence more deeply than ever before. The space you leave behind doesn't just create quiet. It opens a void that she cannot easily ignore. Absence has a unique effect. It doesn't merely remove your presence, it magnifies it. Suddenly, all those small thoughtful gestures you used to offer, whether it was texting her good morning, checking in on her day, or simply listening to her thoughts, are now noticeably absent. This silence speaks louder than words. It communicates that your presence is not a given, and it forces her to confront just how much she relied on your steady attention and dependable care. The truth is, people rarely appreciate what they have until it's no longer there. Constant availability can make anyone seem ordinary and easy to overlook. By stepping away, you create a striking contrast that highlights your value. This period of separation compels her to reflect on the experiences you shared, the warmth you provided, and the way you made her feel heard and understood. Each memory that resurfaces pulls her deeper into a state of longing. Every time she recalls a conversation or moment with you, the pull of your absence grows stronger. Scarcity has an undeniable allure. People are drawn to things that aren't readily available, and when you pull back, you awaken a sense of mystery. She'll begin to wonder about your life, what you're doing, if you've moved on, or if someone else now holds your attention. That uncertainty sparks curiosity, which soon evolves into a powerful desire to reconnect. The less she knows, the more her mind fills the gaps, intensifying her need to fill the emotional space you left behind. If you were once a constant figure in her life, your sudden absence will hit even harder. The abrupt shift from consistency to silence creates a psychological jolt, making her realize she didn't just miss a person, she missed someone who added meaning and value. By giving her the chance to feel the weight of your absence, you're allowing her to recognize your true worth. When the urge to reconnect becomes too strong to ignore, she'll be the one reaching out, driven by an undeniable need to bridge the gap. And when that moment comes, it's clear that the dynamic has changed, and her desire to be close to you is now rooted in genuine appreciation. Number 3. She'll start wondering where you've been. When you pull away and go silent, it doesn't escape her notice. In fact, it sparks one of the strongest psychological responses: curiosity. Human nature is drawn to the unexpected, and when your regular communication or presence suddenly vanishes, it disrupts her sense of normalcy. This isn't merely about longing for contact, it's about the pressing need to understand why you've gone quiet. That unanswered why becomes a mental loop she can't easily escape. At first, she might assume you're simply busy, but as more time passes, curiosity deepens into a relentless stream of questions. Thoughts of your disappearance start to consume her mind. Did something serious happen? Have you moved on to someone else? Even if she keeps these thoughts to herself, the mystery stirs an internal dialogue. She replays your conversations, your gestures, and even your silences, searching for hidden clues that might explain your sudden withdrawal. This introspection pulls her attention back to you far more intensely than if you had stayed consistently available. The allure of the unknown plays a powerful role here. Not knowing what you're doing or where you are generates uncertainty, which taps into a subtle but compelling fear. The fear of losing influence over the connection. Suddenly, she realizes you're no longer a predictable figure in her life. That unpredictability adds layers of intrigue and makes you appear far less accessible than before. As her mind races with questions, a shift begins. She may start reassessing your importance, questioning if she undervalued your presence or missed the significance of your role. That lingering sense of mystery doesn't just pique interest, it reawakens a sense of attraction. You become someone worth figuring out, someone whose value grows, simply because you're not always within reach. In the end, a little distance and a touch of uncertainty fuel the kind of intrigue that keeps you firmly in her thoughts, where each unanswered question quietly raises your worth in her eyes. Number 4. She values you more when you give her space. Many men fall into the trap of believing that constant presence and unwavering attention will solidify a woman's affection. The hard truth? Perpetual availability dilutes your value. When your attention is predictable, it risks being taken for granted, even perceived as suffocating. What's often misunderstood is that giving her space isn't about disinterest. It's a silent declaration of confidence. If you truly want her to cherish you, the secret lies in letting her feel the absence of your presence. Consider this: is the value of something ever fully appreciated when it's always within easy reach? Scarcity creates desire. When you pull back, you allow her to reflect on what your presence actually adds to her life. The constancy of attention can blur its significance, but in its absence, true value becomes undeniable. Many men miss this crucial point by never allowing her the freedom to realize it on her own. It's not about manipulation or playing a clever game. It's about respect. Respect for yourself and for her individuality. By stepping back, you demonstrate that your self-worth doesn't hinge on her validation. You show her that your life is filled with ambitions, pursuits, and passions that extend beyond her. This projection of independence isn't just attractive, it's captivating. Too often, the instinct is to chase when she starts to drift. The fear of losing her pushes men to tighten their grip, unaware that this pressure only makes her retreat further. Connection doesn't thrive in constant proximity. True emotional depth is born when she has the space to miss you. The art of absence, when understood, creates longing, a far more powerful force than persistence. Many men struggle with the misconception that stepping back means losing ground. In reality, it's an opportunity. By giving her room to choose, you allow her to face the possibility of what life without you feels like. Suddenly, every moment you share becomes precious because it's no longer guaranteed. This creates a bond built on mutual respect and authentic connection, far deeper than one born out of availability. Here's a harsh but necessary truth. If you're always there, she'll never have to wonder about your worth. By stepping aside, you cultivate mystery, ignite curiosity, and shift the dynamic. She will begin to value what isn't certain. Create balance, embrace independence, and watch how she gravitates toward you with renewed appreciation. Number 5. She'll realize. She took you for granted. When your attention disappears, something profound takes place. The weight of your absence forces a shift in perception. It's only when the constant presence is gone that its true value becomes unmistakably clear. Relationships often breed comfort, where one assumes the other will always be there. By stepping back, you challenge this assumption, creating space for her to reflect on how things have been taken for granted. Many men mistakenly measure their worth by how much they give, endlessly pouring effort into a dynamic that doesn't reciprocate. The belief that more effort guarantees respect is misguided. Constant availability leads to complacency, where the other person assumes your presence is a given. Stepping away disrupts this illusion, breaking the pattern of unbalanced attention. In the void your absence creates, memories resurface. She starts replaying the shared laughter, the quiet support, and the steady presence you brought into her life. Reflection turns into recognition. Patience, understanding, and your unique energy were never as commonplace as they might have seemed. The truth of your worth becomes undeniable when contrasted against the emptiness left behind. This isn't about games or guilt-tripping. It's a statement of boundaries and self-respect. By choosing distance, you communicate that undervaluation is unacceptable. A relationship built on mutual appreciation cannot flourish when one party feels like a convenient option. Walking away when necessary sets a standard. Your time and attention are privileges, not guarantees. The power of pulling back lies in allowing her to reach her own conclusions. The realization of loss often crystallizes the value of what once seemed ordinary. Should she choose to return, it will be with a newfound understanding of your importance, a clarity that transforms the dynamic. This shift is the key to creating a connection founded on respect, reciprocity, and real appreciation. Here's a truth few are willing to admit. If you're always within reach, you stop being a priority and become nothing more than a convenience. The very act of stepping back, pulling your energy away, and refusing to chase shifts everything. It forces recognition of your true value. When you stop seeking her attention, that's when the clarity hits. Don't fall into the trap of chasing validation or trying to prove yourself. Let her mind linger on your absence. Let her feel the weight of missing what she once overlooked, and let her confront the regret of taking you for granted. Constant availability reduces your significance to that of a mere placeholder, present but unnoticed.